Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our new channel, Cure of Pharma. Today we'll discuss about the carbohydrates, one of the important biological macromolecule, uh, which is most abundant in the earth, which can be found in everywhere. So let's start the carbohydrate lecture series. This lecture series is divided in 5 modules, from starting from module 1 to module 5, which includes the introduction, the stereochemistry portion, the classification using starting from monosaccharides to polysaccharides, the glucose metabolism, glycolysis, TCA cycle, HMP shunt, glucose biogenesis, and glycogen biosynthesis, and disease related to the carbohydrate metabolism. Let's start the module 1. Let's go. What is carbohydrate? Carbohydrate are the most abundant biological macromolecule which is found in the earth. More than half of the carbon found in living organisms contained in carbohydrate molecule. Most of the carbohydrate found in plant during the process of photosynthesis. Here you can see the process of photosynthesis, where plant utilize the light from sun as a photon, and with the carbon dioxide and water they utilize in their chlorophyll molecule to generate the glucose the carbohydrate molecule. This carbohydrate molecule are also called chemically polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone molecule. Here you can see the structure of aldehyde and ketone. In glucose and fructose, they contain this carbonyl group along with the straight chain polyhydroxyl group. These are also called sugar or saccharides. Let's go for the next slide. I go for the classification of carbohydrate. Usually classification of carbohydrates are depending on the number of residue. The first one, according to the number of carbon atom, the carbohydrate will be classified as monosaccharides, where they can be either aldose form or ketose form depending on the type of carbonyl group they will contain. Secondly, this monosaccharide residue will attach one by one to generate the other forms, like where the monosaccharide around 2 to 10 are attached, they will generate the oligosaccharide like fructose, maltose. Another one, the polysaccharide, where the number of residue are more than 10, that can be generated, called polysaccharide. This polysaccharide usually divided in a two type, the homopolysaccharide as well as the heteropolysaccharide. The homopolysaccharide is where the nature of monosaccharide residue will be the same, and heteropolysaccharide where the nature of the monosaccharide residue will be different. Let's go for the monosaccharide portion. The monosaccharides are the most important, are simplest carbohydrate macromolecule, which will serve as a building block of the larger biological macromolecule or carbohydrates. Usually form the empirical formula of CnH2O whole twice N. These either be aldose or they either be ketose depending on which kind of carbonyl group they contain. They are usually colorless, crystalline, solid, and that are freely soluble in water but insoluble in nonpolar solvent. According to the carbon number, they can be classified. Here you can see the list here. They will be called as triose, tetros, pentose according to the number of carbon. They are also can be classified according to their carbonyl group. They can be called as ketose for keto group. They can be called as aldose due to the aldehyde group. Here you can see the list of the aldose starting from 3 carbon glyceraldehyde to the 6 carbon glucose, and for the ketose compound is started with 3 carbon dihydroxyacetone to 7 carbon pseudoheptalose. Here we are giving some of the list of important biological pentose and hexose, their source, their biological importance, and their clinical significance. Take a look on that. It will be very important for your exam purposes also. Let's go for the application of the carbohydrates. As we discussed earlier, carbohydrates is found everywhere in earth. It is the most abundant molecule. Thus, it will be utilized in various industries like food, beverage, pharmaceutical, biomedical, surgical, fermentation, and clothes. Here we are giving the some of the important use of carbohydrate in terms of pharmaceutical sector as a diluent, as a binder that will be used for various pharmaceutical formulation using as a thickening agent. They can be also used as a also used as a excipient in various sectors. These are the list. Take a look on that and go for the next one. There's a biomedical application. Here we also can see the carbohydrates can be also used for the vaccine development, for various adjuvant, for drug development, as well as targeted drug delivery system. Let's go for the next slide. Okay, the structural representation of the carbohydrate. Here we will learn about how the carbohydrates are represented. Generally, the representation of carbohydrate follow many models like ball stick model, ring cycling model, and straight chain model. Here we will discuss only two type formula. Here you can see the structure of glucose, that is called C6H12O6. This molecule can be represented in two general subtype. First one, in terms of their straight chain formula, that is called Fischer projection. Another one was that it can be represented by the cyclic structure form, that is called Howard projection. We will discuss both these Howard projection and Fischer projection one by one. Before that, we have to learn some of the basic aspect and basic knowledge of our stereochemistry. Let's go into that, and after that we will cover the Fischer projection, Howard projection one by one. For isomerization, what is isomerism or what is isomers? Isomers are the ions or molecule which are identical in terms of their formula but distinct in terms of their structure. Thus they have differ in terms of their properties also. Different this type of isomers are different. Isomers can be classified in two forms. Here you can see the constitution isomer and stereoisomer. The constitution isomer will be divided in 3 or 4 other forms. We will discuss from the next slide. And the stereoisomer will be classified as geometric, as optical isomer. Geometric isomer are including the cis-trans isomer. Although we will not discuss the cis-trans isomer here, it is one of the important form, but not very much linked directly to the carbohydrate chemistry, but linked too much to the alkyl and alkene chemistry also. We will discuss mostly the optical isomer, the enantiomer and diastereomer. This isomerism arises due to the formation of a chiral carbon. What is the chiral carbon? Chiral carbon is a carbon molecule. Excuse me. Chiral carbon is a chiral molecule which contain a single carbon bond which is attached by 4 different kind of subgroups. Like here you can see the red one carbon which is attached to aldehyde group, hydroxyl group, CH2H group, as well as your hydrogen bond. This is called a chiral carbon. The structural isomer can be classified in 3 different forms: chain isomer, position isomer, and functional isomer. Let's go for the position isomer. What is that? They have the same formula but differ in terms of the position of substituent. Here you can see the structure. The C3H7OH both have the same structure but differ in the hydroxyl group. In structure 1, the hydroxyl group attached to the first carbon, and in structure 2, the hydroxyl group attached to the second structure. Both have the same formula. First one the N-propyl alcohol, second one the isopropyl alcohol, but they differ in terms of the position of the substituent group. Similar example given in terms of xylenol. Let's go for the chain isomer. These are also called the skeletal isomer. Here the example is N-pentane and isopentane. And another was the functional group isomer. These are the isomer of the same formula, but the functional group will be different. Here we see the structure of cyclohexane and a hexane. Both have the structure of C6H12. One hexane and cyclohexane will see structure C6H12. The first one have the cycloalkane group, and second one was called alkene group. So they are differ in terms of the functional group. Let's go for the stereoisomer. What is stereoisomer? The stereoisomer or stereochemical aspect of the drug is very important for the pharmacological sector. Here, if you think of for a drug to be attached to your receptor or receptor molecule, you have to think the drug in a 3D. This is called the spatial arrangement of the drug. The molecule should be fit with your receptor molecule in a 3-dimensional space. That called 3-dimensional space. So the stereochemistry is a much important, but stereoisomerism systems is much important for the pharmaceutical and drug development sector. Let's discuss what is stereoisomers. These are the molecules with the same molecular formula but their chemical bonding differ in terms of their configuration due to their three-dimensional space arrangement. This stereoisomer, we will discuss the two main terms of stereoisomeric aspect. One is the enantiomer, second will be the diastereomer. Let's go to the enantiomeric aspect. These are the molecule which is the mirror images but cannot be superimposable to each other. Here you can see the structure of glyceraldehyde. The glyceraldehyde, if the glyceraldehyde mirror images will generate, first one having the hydroxyl on the right hand side and second one is hydroxyl on the left hand side. If you try to superimpose the structure with one on above, this hydroxyl won't be at the same side of the position, that they are called non-superimposable. These are called enantiomer. These enantiomer are arises due to the position of their chiral center. These chiral centers, we have discussed what is chirality and the chiral center molecule. This chiral carbon, due to the single chiral carbon, there will be two stereoisomeric forms are generated. As the number of chiral carbon increases, the number of stereoisomer also increases with the 2 to the power n as a formula. This stereoisomer by enantiomeric pair have same physical formula in terms of boiling point, melting point, solubility, but differ in terms of optical activity. Means they can behave differently towards the plane of polarized light. Let's discuss what is plane of polarized light and optical activity. First, what is optical activity? Optical activity is a optical property of a molecule, inherent optical property of a chiral molecule, especially how they can rotate the plane of polarized light. Here you can see the structure of show the figure of the polarimeter, the instrument that is used for detection of change in optical angle of a molecule. The light passes to the polarimeter, generating a single direction angle to the plane with 90 degree. This light interact with the molecule. This molecule have a property that can bend or change the direction of the light. Thus the deviation in angle from the plane will be measured using the detector. This is called the polarimeter. Here, according to the interaction of the light with the plane of polarized light with the molecule, the compound will be classified in two terms. First one, the dextrorotatory compound. Second one, the levorotatory compounds. The dextrorotatory compound, which can rotate the molecule clockwise direction, that is called dextrorotatory, which, and another was the anti-clockwise, that is called levorotatory, designated by small d and small l. Enantiomeric compound will be represented. There will be two systems are utilized. First one, the RS system, the Richter-Shinster system. Second one, the DL method. We will discuss one by one. Let's start the RS system. Here, the chiral carbon attached with the four different set of side groups will prioritized from giving this number from 1 to 4. If the direction of the prioritization is follow the clockwise direction, that is called Richter's. If it follows the numbering anti-clockwise, that is called Shinster. Second one, the important one, the DL system. Usually students will sometime have sometime will confuse between the capital DL system and the small DL system. This is the small DL we are given previous slide, that is small DL, that is depending on the optical activity of the compound. The capital DL system is an empirical formula. This empirical formula, what is followed? It follows the structure of glyceraldehyde. If the glyceraldehyde molecule placed on a mirror will produce an enantiomeric pair of capital D glyceraldehyde and L glyceraldehyde. This D glyceraldehyde having the hydroxyl group on the right hand side and L glyceraldehyde hydroxyl group and left hand side. Similarly, all the molecule carbohydrate molecule which have left hydroxyl group on the left hand side and hydroxyl group on the right hand side are designated by DL method using the structure of glyceraldehyde in terms of their Fischer projection. What is diastereomer? These diastereomers are the optical stereoisomers which are non-superimposable and non-mirror images and as well non-superimposable mirror images as well as non-identical to each other. Let's take the example of D trios to the L trios. These are the non-superimposable enantiomeric pair like D erythros to L erythros. But if you take the structure of L erythros to the L trios, these structure are non-superimposable as well as non-identical. Thus, this pair is called diastereomer. Diastereomer arises due to the difference in configuration of stereocenter. As for a single stereocentric difference in single stereocenter, there is two diastereomeric pair are arise. These diastereomers are differ in terms of their physical property to each other. Here we will give some difference between the constitutional isomer and stereoisomer and enantiomer and diastereomer. Take a look on that. This kind of question arises in your exam. It will helpful for you. Go for the Haworth projection. The cyclic representation of the carbohydrate or the monosaccharide molecule are represented with 5-member or 6-member cyclic structures. These cyclic structures are formed due to the cyclization process, which is the interconvertible cyclic structures, which is low energy form structure, where you can see the D-glucose, the open chain structure, where the carbon aldehyde group carbon C1 interact with the oxygen of hydroxyl C5, and this cyclization process happens and form a open closed chain closed cyclic structure. Here you can see the same for the D-glucose and for the fructose. For glucose molecule, which is a aldose molecule, which is cyclized due to the interaction of hydroxyl C5 hydroxyl to the oxygen of the C5 hydroxyl with the CHO group, generate the 6-membered ring, which is called pyran ring. For 5-member carbon for ketose, this is your keto group. The keto carbon interact with the hydroxyl oxygen of C5, but it generate the 4-member ring that is called furan. You can see that pyran and furan ring here. This process where the cyclization happens, this is called the ring cyclization method. How this ring cyclization happens? It is due to that your carbonyl carbon interact with your oxygen of hydroxyl. This interaction causes generation of a covalent bond. This covalent bond causes enclosement of the open chain structure to the closed one. This is called the ring cyclization process. This ring cyclization, how this ring cyclization happen? This ring cyclization happen due to the formation of the hemiacetal and hemiketal formation. How this hemiketal and hemiacetal form? When the aldehyde or ketone react with the alcohol, it form hemiacetal or hemiketal form. Here you see the reaction of the aldehyde reacting with the alcohol and aldehyde reacting with the ketone reacting with the alcohol to generate the hemiacetal and hemiketal form. Here you can see the ring cyclization process, how the cyclization. Here you first see the figure number A, the open chain compound where the carbonyl carbon reacted with the oxygen of 5th position of the glucose, and this interaction causes the formation of the cyclic compound. During this cyclic compound formation, you can see in the figure B that the compound will be converted into enantiomeric pair, where the hydroxyl group position will differ in terms of their stereogenic carbon. This one is upward, one is downward. This is happened due to the fact that the carbon between C1 and C2 are the single bond carbon. This single bond carbon can freely rotate, and this rotation generate the enantiomeric pair, which is called anomers. So what is anomers? Anomers are derivative form due to the formation of cyclic structure of the carbohydrate. The cyclic structure are formed due to the formation of hemiketals or hemiacetals. During the process of cyclization, there will be generation of one stereogenic carbon center. In this stereogenic carbon center, the configuration of hydroxyl group will differ from one stereoisoform to the another stereoisoform. This is called the enantiomeric pair. Each of the pairs are called anomers, and the carbon is called the anomeric carbon. Here we can see the anomeric carbon generate the alpha form and the beta form. The alpha or beta form are the enantiomeric pair, only differ by the position of the hydroxyl group. This position of the hydroxyl group was in alpha form upward from the ring, and beta form is in alpha form is downward from the ring, and the beta form upward from the ring. Mutarotation. What is mutarotation? Mutarotation is a process for interconversion of one anomeric form to the another anomeric form. Usually in a solution form, one anomeric form is convertible to the another anomeric form. It is always convertible to the another anomeric form. Let's see the beta anomeric form. This is beta D glucopyranose, which is converted to the closed chain to the open chain formation, and in open chain the C1 C2 structure will open up. The single bond causes the rotation of C2, the aldehyde group. This rotation of aldehyde group changes the conformation of hydroxyl group from the up of the plane of the stereogenic center to the down of the plane. This downward movement causes generation of the second anomeric form, that is the beta D gluconopyranose. What is epimer? The term epimer is closely related to the formation of the Fischer structure, the Fischer projection, where the glucose structure of carbohydrate represented in straight chain formation, where the position configuration of configuration is differed by a single carbon. Let's see the compare the D mannose with D glucose. Here the structure is same, but the configuration at second carbon will differ in terms of hydroxyl group position. Similarly, with D glucose having the epimer of the D galactose, which are differ by at carbon 4th. Let's try to sum up all we learned from the video. The monosaccharide stereochemistry we have learned today, and the monosaccharide stereochemistry is divided in two forms uh, according to the Fischer projection, according to the Haworth projection. According to the Fischer projection, it will be D sugar and L sugar. According to the cyclic form or the Haworth projection, it will be alpha anomer and beta anomer. Thank you for seeing the video. Hope you will enjoy the video, and we will give all the other module one by one. Please follow us. If you like the video, please click on the like button and subscribe our channel. Thank you.